Support the work of Strike 7 Sports by heading to fanatics.com and purchasing officially licensed gear from the NFL, the NBA, and more. Each purchase made through the text link below goes into the funding of the Strike 7 Sports brand. To proceed, go to the link strike7sports.com/fanatics. I say again, strike7sports.com/fanatics. Thank you. It's your boy Derrick Branch here with strike7sports.com. Today's video, I want to talk about my 2022 rankings of the top 10 NFL wide receivers for this season, this upcoming season. I also could consider these 10 wide receivers as the best options, the primary options, your WR1s when it comes to playing fantasy football. So first, we're going to get it started with Mike Evans of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Had another great season, solid season. Has recorded multiple 1,000 yard seasons. I think he's only went below 1,000 yards once in his career. This year he had roughly 1,000 yards. Well, this past season he had roughly 1,000 yards this year. 14 touchdowns. That's playing with a guy like Tom Brady. He's always had solid quarterback play, in my opinion. Now, those quarterbacks may not have done enough to get him in the playoffs prior to Brady, but they have gotten there while Mike Evans the football. So I think if he continues to play like this, I think he's a Hall of Famer, a future Hall of Famer, in my opinion. He's had, like I said, multiple years with 1,000 yards receiving, multiple double-digit touchdown receptions, big numbers, multiple time Pro Bowler, the whole 9 yards. I think he's on the track to be in the Hall of Famer. So Mike Evans at number 10. Number 9, I'm gonna go with LA Chargers wide receiver Keenan Allen, another consistent wide receiver. He's dealt with some injuries in the past, struggles with staying healthy, but when he's on the field, he produces. A guy that's always reliable in the passing game. I think he's had went over his third season with 100 catch season, playing with the LA Chargers. Lines up opposite of Mike Williams, who's another solid fantasy football option. He has a great quarterback in Justin Herbert, who the Chargers, I think, upgraded over big time after departing with Phillip Rivers. So, got Keenan Allen number 9. 8, I'm going to go with DeAndre Hopkins. This guy is something else. No matter who the quarterback is, he's always producing. He always puts up big numbers, always finds a way to get past defenders, knows how to make contested catches, comes down with the football, dangerous in space, can line up on the inside or the outside, doesn't matter where you put him. At one point, there's an argument that he's the best wide receiver in the National Football League. There's a valid argument at the time, but he's dealt with some injuries. I think this past season, missed the remaining games of the 2021 season. You saw the Cardinals' offense pretty much, was a shell of its former self once Hopkins was out, no longer in the offense. Now maybe they would have had him in that game against the Rams in the postseason. And maybe they would have won that game. It could have been a difference, but it is what it is. DeAndre Hopkins will be serving a 6-game suspension this year for violating the league's substance abuse policy. But then again, there is a report that came out that he did not violate that policy. So we're gonna see how everything plays out. But when he's on the field, he is a difference maker, man. And I think what makes great wide receivers is it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. If that wide receiver makes a mediocre to average quarterback look good, he continues to put up those numbers despite not having an elite quarterback. Those are traits of an elite wide receiver. So we got DeAndre Hopkins at number 8. Number 7, we got Jamar Chase. This guy, first year, and last year was his first season in the NFL. And some of y'all might disagree with this. Well, he's kind of think you may think he's kind of low, but I think number 7 is fair for him. Had a big year in 2021, his rookie season. 81 catches, 1,455 yards. Uh, let me see, 13 touchdown reception, big number, set a lot of records in his rookie year with the Cincinnati Bengals. Is going went into a good situation, you know, playing with Joe Burrow, a guy that he played with in college. You got T. Higgins lining up opposite of him, and he's a guy that's another great player that can get contested catches. That can get open in space, get separation, make big plays. We saw how good dangerous he was last year, pretty much against anyone that they put up against him. So looking forward to seeing what he does in year 2 with Joe Burrow and T. Higgins and the rest of that high-powered offense. So Jamar Chase at number 7. Number 6, Diviso Samuel of the San Francisco 49ers. Now this guy, I'll consider him a cheat code. He's one of the, I would say, the top 5 players when it comes to weapons in the NFL, regardless of the position on offense. Wide receiver, running back, tight end, quarterback, dynamic quarterback play. I think Diviso Samuel is that guy, man. A guy that put up big numbers last year, career high in 1,400 receiving yards, 6 TDs, had 77 catches. That San Francisco offense probably would not be the same if he wasn't on the field with him last year. It was played a big part in why they made the playoffs, made a deep playoff push last year. And towards the end of the season, like they weren't going anywhere, but they were able to rally and get to the playoffs, get all the way to the NFC Championship game, and that was due large in part by Diviso Samuel. So hopefully they can get a contract done, a new deal done, and move on from there. And maybe be utilized more as a wide receiver option. That would be interesting as well to see how that plays out. But Diviso Samuel at number 6. Number 5, Justin Jefferson. This guy, in my opinion, when he got taken in the 2020 draft, that COVID year, I thought he was taken way too low. And he made a lot of teams pay for it, such as the Philadelphia Eagles. Man, they had the opportunity to take Justin Jefferson. They went with, I think it was Jalen Rager out of TCU. And Justin Jefferson has been that guy, man. He's been considered, in my view, a top, 5 fantasy option when it comes to playing fantasy football for wide receivers. Had over smashed his previous career high, which was in his rookie season, with over 1,616 receiving yards, 108 receptions, 10 touchdowns. Had 167 targets, 64.7 catch percentage. This is a great all-around player, man. Great all-around player out of LSU. He played with Jamar Chase during that national championship run in 2019. So the guy is talented, man. He's a talented player, man. He could have went to a lot of places, could have helped. A lot of teams could have had him, man. Could have had Justin Jefferson. Looking back at it now, I think he would be considered a top 10 pick. Plain and simple, man. The guy is really good, man. So he has a new coach this year. Kirk Cousins comes back, and based on what they were saying in Minnesota, is that Justin Jefferson, I think, said it himself, is that the offense will be more explosive this year now that Zimmer is gone. That's crazy to say because he got his targets. He got his targets. He put up his big numbers, but we never know what goes on behind the scenes. So Justin Jefferson at number 5. Number 4, we got Stefon Diggs, man. Stefon Diggs is one of the league's best wide receivers, man. He, numbers a little down from that 2020 season. He had over 1,225 receiving yards. Still had 103 catches, 10 touchdowns. So it wasn't that far off, but still another productive year by the Stefon Diggs. Guys pretty much produced wherever he's going. Produced in Minnesota, went to the Buffalo. Is the top option with the Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen, along with then Gabriel Davis out there, Dawson Knox. So another solid guy that you may want to take, add to your fantasy team if you have opportunity to. Stefon Diggs at number 4. Number 3, Tyreek Hill, man. This guy, he's one of those right up there with Diviso Samuel in regards to cheat code players, man. This guy, he's now with the Miami Dolphins now. This picture of him with the when he was with the Kansas City Chiefs, but he is dangerous, man. This dude, if he gets behind the receiver, defensive back, he's gonna take it to the house, man. He's that dangerous, man. He can play on the inside, play on the outside, play a slot receiver. Could be pretty good with contested catches. Could play on the kick return, punt return, come out of the backfield. It's just a weapon, man. A weapon that the Miami Dolphins are gonna enjoy having if he's utilized properly. I just can't wait to see how Mike McDaniel, who comes over from the San Francisco 49ers in that system, how he's gonna incorporate Tyreek Hill in that offense. It's gonna be interesting to see. So you got Tyreek Hill at number 3. Number 2, Cooper Kupp, man. Cooper Kupp, I think kind of underrated. Guy that's been trending up the last, I would say, trending up the last 2 to 3 seasons as a top NFL wide receiver. Um, what set the record this year was the Triple Crown winner. Led the league in receiving yard. Well, receiving yards were 1947. He set that record. That was broke that record previously held by Calvin Johnson. Had over 145 receiving yards. I think that's second best behind Michael Thomas, who had 149. Had 16 touchdowns. Led the league in touchdown receptions, and had 114 yards, 114.5 yards a game. Over 191 targets. Just had a great year. Capped it off by winning the Super Bowl this past season. I think it was the Super Bowl MVP. Cam Drew in the NFC Championship game. Cam Drew in the NFC Divisional Round game against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Cam Drew in the Super Bowl. So he contributes, man. He dominates, man, and I think he deserves this ranking that he's at right now, number 2. I'm more than sure that he's gonna go really fast in any fantasy draft, and any type of fantasy draft that you may be a part of. Cooper Kupp is one of those guys that you gotta have with your team on your team, man. He has a quarterback. He's pretty much the primary option on that team, despite them having Allen Robinson and think Jefferson, Vance Jefferson, Tyler Higbee. He is the number 1 guy on that team, so he's gonna command the targets. So Cooper Kupp at number 2. Number 1, I'm gonna go with Davante Adams. I think Davante Adams is, in my view, you may have somebody different on your list, but Davante Adams is the number one wide receiver in the National Football League, in my opinion, the best wide receiver. Had another great year with Aaron Rodgers in the Green Bay Packers. Had over 123 catches, 1,553 receiving yards, 11 TDs, averaged 97.1 yards a game, over 169 targets this past year. This is a great talent, man. Great talent that's going to be going over to the Las Vegas Raiders, who I think makes that team better than what they were the previous year. With the wide receiver core now, you got Davante Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller. That's a pretty good nucleus, man. And also the deep. They have some. They have some pretty good pieces on defense as well. But We're gonna see how much his presence is missed in Green Bay now that he's no longer with Aaron Rodgers, and now he goes from another great quarterback to another solid QB in Derek Carr. So we'll see how everything plays out with that situation. But I think the Raiders are going to be a really good football team this year. So there you have it. You got Davante Adams at 1, Cooper Kupp at 2, Tyreek Hill at 3, Stefon Diggs at 4, Justin Jefferson at 5, Diviso Samuel at 6, Jamar Chase at 7, DeAndre Hopkins at 8, Chris Godwin at number 9, and not Chris Godwin, excuse me, Keenan Allen at number 9, and Mike Evans at number 10. So those are my top 10 wide receivers for the 2022 NFL season. Those are also my top 10 options for fantasy football. If you partake in that type of activity. So that's all I have for y'all for right now, man. Give me a like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know how you feel. If you can, in the comment section below, list your top 10 wide receivers for the 2022 season. Also, man, if you don't agree with it, man, just explain, your reasoning why, and I'll get back with you. But other than that, man, that's all I have for y'all for tonight. Hit that bell notification icon so you can receive all my latest updates whenever I go live or preview a game or, just talk about the NFL this year. So that's all I have for y'all for right now. Have a blessed night. Peace. I'm out.